Hello and welcome to the PolyInnovator channel. We will discuss the points behind what a DIY degree is to me and how I keep myself accountable and what is coming up ahead down the line. Something relatively unexpected, I am creating more content and people seem to be responding well from what the statistics say. Overall, my website, poly-innovator.tech, has doubled in traffic. The podcasts are getting likes, which on SoundCloud is hard. And the blog posts on Medium, LinkedIn, and Vocal.media are all responding well. And yes, I am, by the way, blogging on all these platforms. Even did a Facebook note or two the other day, which acts kind of like a blog on that platform. This is happy news, especially for all you viewers, because the more people get engaged, the better it is for me making the content. I like people, so when I get that gregariousness activated, I become nearly unstoppable. All this content is based around the DIY degree for now. I am learning a lot from it already, but I am using it more as a spear point for my why is that I want to create the ideal career for myself and help others along this way. I looked far and wide at nearly 150 colleges and universities. None of them had what I wanted to learn. ASU came close to part of it, but I was only 1 out of 3, let alone a way to truly mix the knowledge areas. No interdisciplinary studies would work for this endeavor either. It came down to me, and luckily I had already created a self-development and autodidactic history. We have evolved socially and to gradually improve our capabilities every 100 years or so. At first, information could only spread to the next tribe or village over, maybe. Then we had small markets where some villages could curate their knowledge kind of around their areas. With the rise of cities, however, we had a stronger unity of knowledge, but traveling between them was sparse. Over time, we learned how to go across the treacherous terrain in between areas, such as with the Silk Road. This led to cities being able to share their experience and their abilities with one another. The only thing that held us back in the pursuit of knowledge was the Dark Ages, due to the Catholic Church banning many thought leaders and executing them. After the Renaissance, we had new thoughts blossom, creating the ever-beautiful world we see today. The Industrial Revolution just sped up the process, and the rise of cars brought people even closer. Ironically, now, they make it harder for people. Hashtag urban sprawl. With the internet, things have dramatically changed, especially with IoT. It is still in its infancy stage, with plenty of potential to change the way we share knowledge. Far greater than I think anybody else knows. Anybody knows, not even me. And I want to take this degree and use the knowledge to create new innovations in technology and ideology in particular, establishing a unity across the world. Basically connecting the cities just like in the past, but on a more global scale. I believe the trick to doing so is creating a platform, one that can lead and inspire others into action as well. That is my why. What is yours? What can you say about your life that is impactful, no matter how small? Tell me in the comments. What I would say is potential, the potential to create, the potential to be compassionate, and the potential to inspire too. Remember, to make a change, it starts by making an impact on a person, if not many. Is that why am I here? Absolutely. Even writing this video script, I have split it into several intervals and times of writing, as I can't get myself to be creative enough, fully enough, to complete it all at once, as I have done with other videos in the past. I think that because this video's particular uniqueness, as I am aimed for it to be more of a vlog experience, but the overall point is to try to convey to you that the impact behind what I'm trying to do. That is why I'm here, coming back again and again, to write this and convey to you. Each person has a history. Each person has some challenge or strife that they are facing. Just this week, my dog had to be put down due to some health issues that at the quite old age of 16, the Chihuahua. This broke my heart. And as I got her when I was a child, she had been with me all my life. But I am not letting that stop me from doing what I need to do. I love her so much, and I won't forget her, ever. In this day and age, there are a lot of options for all different kinds of areas. However, we have only started as an internet population to pursue education. MOOCs came out half a decade ago, and we had some courses before that, such as OpenCourseWare, but only the people really in the know knew about them, let alone use them. The chance to make a unique form of education is something anyone can start now. Perhaps one of you, or maybe me on this journey. Hopefully, one of us. We will create some sort of plan that ends up being an outline for something greater in the future. Everything builds on top of each other. Just like that platform I mentioned earlier, the future of education is being crafted in our hands. Now, I'm not much of a craftsman, but I am a creative on the computer. I have done graphics design for as long as I can remember. Quite honestly, I started with spriting with 2D characters of video games when I was a preteen. It not only grew into different skills as I took more classes in school and tutorials online. Just today, actually, due to the Black Friday sale, I bought Affinity Designer for the $35 of what is on there. That's so I could pursue more creative endeavors and also create more content for PolyInnovator. Everyone has a chance to do something like that. Find a topic, then find a resource online to learn it, and what we need is a way to organize our learning experience. You have access to the internet if you are watching this video, meaning you have access to the greatest resource on the planet. And the one thing I want to note is I'm recording this, I'm watching the videos piece by piece, and it looks like I have raccoon eyes or that I haven't slept in months. I promise you I have. I know it seems kind of like, oh man, this guy looks like a vampire. I was up late last night learning how to make a course for how to create a DIY degree. And so that's kind of a little secret, but I'm telling you guys now. I can only hope that my content inspires, cultivates growth, and gives you the tools you need for success. Look at me, it's as if I'm helping you build a house. The house of your future. Honestly, we are in this together. And I know it's easy to say that, and I am sure many other YouTubers do say it. But however, I do mean it. And I'm in the trenches with you right now as well. Learning, growing my mindset, and creating my own future. If anyone is able to help you, it would be me. The whole point of all this, and in particular this video, is the do-it-yourself degree. Being able to create your own education. That last bit is important, as I may in the future change the name to something like Mod EDU or Building Education, which the latter has already have a lot of keywords. But whatever it may be, the purpose remains the same. Creating your education. Now, in this part, I was going to input some of the progress I've made on the courses, but I guess I forgot to write that when I was writing this script. So I'm just going to tell you from heart, so if it seems like I'm rambling a little bit, that's probably why. Now, I have had some issues filling up doing a lot of the fill up of the courses because I've been pursuing other education resources that are not listed in my degree. And I think that's something to note because if you do that, it's going to put you off track and gets you a little bit distracted from the overall goal. Now, the reason why I'm doing it and not stopping myself is because some of the resources I'm learning are having to do with the personal brand development, and also they're curating still towards the actual semester one business. Such as just recently, last week, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and just basically finished the book within a week. Granted, it took up a lot of my time, but I also woke up early and just kind of read it in bed or read it in any break I got. So things like that, and trying to keep that reading habit going. And I'm also found a new website that I mentioned before, the bitdegree.org or .com, where there was a lot of cheap or free courses. I was like, okay, well, I'll take some of this because some of them have to do with the personal brand development. So even though it's not directly on the list, it's still, and actually, I did add all the bit degrees to my business semester. So now there's 47 courses on that semester. Granted, I have finished some of them. So I finished some of the smaller ones from like fee.org. I finished the E-MBA, which actually I'm going to use more as a referral resource, not so much as a course. I went through all the information straight through, but there's a lot of dense and unique stuff that you can only really use when you need it, such as accounting or being a CEO. So I'll go back to that in the future. I even have a note saying that, again, this is for referral. And so I've finished a decent amount of courses, and I've been working on a little bit of courses each time. So some of the courses on the first semester from stackskills.com, which I had gotten from Stack Social. And they had already been paid for, so I went to those first, instead of having to go to like edX or Coursera and pay for another course. I have, like I said in the past, took a pause on that MicroMasters. I did need to study a lot more math and programming for that course, the entire courses. Even the most easy one had a little bit of statistics in it. I was like, okay, I need to work on this a bit more. And so that's kind of a good eye-opener for me, too. It led me to realize I need to improve myself more before I can handle that. And that's good. I was able to experiment a little bit and get an idea for it. And I learned a lot just from that one course I took on global poverty and development policy. And so I'm very grateful for being able to do that, too. All in all, I have been making progress. And then, so a couple milestones I would like to share, too, is that I haven't noticed quite a bit more traffic on all platforms as I'm sharing this content from like YouTube, Medium, Vocal.media, SoundCloud for the podcast and the home website. All those, like I said earlier, have been increasing the stats. P.S. My site has been down recently for about a day or so. I'm working on it. It was working yesterday morning. For some reason, it's just not loading. I contacted the hosting and get that to working together. The main thing left to tackle is the next step. I will continue creating content. Like I said earlier, I'm working on a course. I'm actually really excited about it. It's going to be free. I'm going to just basically push out the information on how to build a DIY degree in a more one location mindset so people can just take it, learn it, and then build their own. And actually build their own as you go along. And so please, please, please share with me ideas, questions, or anything you would like to see. What I am going to focus on after all this is creating that free course and so you can get started on your DIY degree as well. So leave me a comment below about what you would like to see from me. Thank you all.